All right, Paul, college football is here, and the coaches that are on the hot seat, not very exciting. So let's talk about the coaches who, no matter what they do, are not losing their jobs in 2018.
Yeah, I mean, history tells us there's going to be like 18 to 25 guys who will become unemployed in December. I mean, they'll cry, they'll go away with $1 million golden parachutes. But these are guys that no one really cares about because they coach bad teams. Because you get fired not because you do well, but because you do poorly. So let's talk about the guys who could do anything within reason on the football field and not get fired in 2018. And obviously that begins with Nick Saban at Alabama. I think Nick Saban could go 0-12. Alabama could score 1 touchdown over 12 games, and he would still return to the Crimson
Tuscaloosa would not turn on Nick Saban if they went 0-12.
No, his goodwill extends from Tuscaloosa to California. He's got an extensive amount of room for error with the Alabama fan base. So I think he could go 0-12 very easily, and Alabama would still be like, you're cool, we like you, you've won multiple national championships, we believe that next year we'll go from 0-12 to 12-0.
Okay, so let's move forward. What do you think about Scott Frost, for example? What can he do now that he's at Nebraska?
I mean, this is going to get a little bit repetitive because we're going to talk about the guys who can't get fired. But Scott Frost is an example of another guy who has done no wrong so far. He's like the national champion at Central Florida. He hasn't lost a game since 2016. Not to mention that he won a national title at Nebraska in 1997. He's from Wood River, Nebraska. He's
like a lot of information.
I mean, he is like, if you looked up Nebraska
in the Wikipedia page, it's him.
It'd be a picture of him.
Let's just list off coaches here.
Urban Meyer. Whatever. Do whatever you want, Urban. Chip Kelly at UCLA. Expectations aren't really high for him in year 1, but I think he's a guy who, no matter what he does, people look at it and say, oh, this is the building for the future. That's how we'll probably spin it in the media.
So lastly, someone who's not on the hot seat, but could potentially end up on the hot seat depending on what he does this year is who?
I got to say Jim Harbaugh. I think Jim Harbaugh is at a point within his tenure as he enters year 4 where people are expecting more. And that's only fair to expect more because people said when he got there that we're within 2 or 3 years he'll be beating in Ohio State, playing for a Big Ten title, getting to the college football playoff, and we haven't seen it. So I think for him, within the fan base, there might be a faction of people who are unhappy and disappointed. I think if they have Shea Patterson at quarterback and they go 7-5 or 8-4, I think you'll begin to feel a kind of groundswell of not outright animosity, but certainly a bit of impatience with how he's doing or what he's been doing at Michigan through 4 years.
Exciting stuff with the counter narrative, and college football is here, so we'll be talking a lot more as things move on. In the meantime, stick with Sports Pulse, your heartbeat to what's trending in sports.